Hello and welcome to MegoMuseum's Vintage Mego. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I took a break for some personal reasons, but I am back for the new year. This week we're going to talk about Mego's ill-fated line of James Bond toys for the movie Moonraker. Moonraker was the 11th James Bond film in the Eon franchise, and though it shares a title with the 1955 Ian Fleming novel, it has been drastically altered in its original plot about missiles to make it James Bond in space, 'cause Star Wars. It was the biggest budgeted Bond film at the time, costing nearly $30 million. Mego, hungry for a Star Wars, stepped up and nabbed the action figure license for the film, which would be the first figure range Bond had received since the Gilbert toys of the middle 60s spy craze. Moonraker does not appear in the 1979 Mego catalog, save for a promotional 4-page flyer that was likely given out at Toy Fair. And it gives the whole line something of a rushed quality. There are things crossed off in the catalog, and it's almost as if Mego got the license at the very last minute. Like a lot of Mego's late 70s sci-fi properties, the original concept was a range of 3 3/4-inch action figures and vehicles, and a series of deluxe 12-inch figures. The 12-inch series comprised of 5 characters. James Bond, played by Roger Moore. For Lois Child's character, Mego just called her Holly because they weren't going to get away with her last name on a toy package. Main baddie Hugo Drax, who was portrayed by actor Michael Lonsdale. And returning henchman Jaws, played by Richard Kiel. The series would be rounded out by a deluxe version of James Bond in a spacesuit. The head sculptures appear to be the work of artist Ron Schruby, who also worked on the Black Hole for Mego. It's interesting to note that the Mego Moonraker catalog is so rushed that instead of showing the deluxe Bond figure, they show a prop from the film itself. Special effects artist Derek Meddings actually used Palitoy Action Man dolls in the film, and Mego advertised their toy line by showing an Action Man. Of the 5 12-inch figures, only 3 made it to the U.S. shores in the form of the basic Bond, Drax, and Holly. Jaws and the deluxe spacesuited Bond would only be sold in France, the United Kingdom, and Italy. This is because they were meant to be part of the second wave, but the sales weren't there. International distributors notoriously paid up front for toys, so they guaranteed the production of these items. It's a crying shame because they're the 2 nicest characters in the range. Bond in the spacesuit is wonderful, and that Jaws is particularly well made, with an imposing torso from the Mego 12-inch Hulk and a magnet in his mouth similar to the magnetic Batman and Robin. Mego's 3 3/4-inch range would include 3 vehicles paired with figures. The jet boat was based on one of the chase sequences in the film and would have included 2 figures. We'll assume they were Bond and Holly. According to Mego designer Tori Maccaro, who worked on this line, the jet boat would also convert into a hang glider as well, and you can see what looks like retractable wings on the top of this boat. The Moonraker shuttle would have contained 2 figures, and of all the toys proposed, this one actually might have sold pretty well for Mego. Finally, the Moonraker Helicopter is a repurposed Comic Action Heroes Batcopter, which itself was based on a Takara Microman toy, and it would have actually flown. To represent Bond, Mego took a Comic Action Superman and put the Penguin's coat on him, which makes him look like a butler more than a super spy. Moonraker opened to mixed reviews, but was a smash hit worldwide. It was plenty campy, but it was also a fun movie. However, one thing it really didn't do was sell merchandise to kids. The only exceptions seemed to be replicas of the shuttle itself, particularly the model kit and the Corgi die-cast that I had as a kid. It was a really great toy. Mego took a tremendous bath with the Moonraker license. There was even litigation about the royalty guarantees. And no toy maker touched James Bond for over a decade after that in any significant way. There was some minor merchandise in the 80s, but there were no action figures until, I believe, Hasbro's James Bond Jr. On the secondary market, the Moonraker line is a real challenge, with the basic James Bond being the easiest and lowest cost item in the line, and then it becomes more and more difficult to complete the range, especially with the European rarities. Expect to pay high. As with a lot of late 70s Mego product, the figures can suffer from migration or Mego molt, the chemical reaction of the color leaving the heads, giving them a gray zombie-like appearance. There are several online remedies for that. Of the series, I personally only own this Bond. It's a line I've always fancied, but the timing has never really been right for me. Just wanted to remind everybody that Toy Ventures issue 2 is now available, and it features a deep dive into the Mego Doctor Who line. If you're interested, there's a lot of never-before-seen photographs in this issue. We're very proud of it, and if you're a fan of this channel, you might want to consider picking it up. The link is below. Thank you. What do you think of the Mego Moonraker range? Is it something you're interested in? Let me know in the comments below. You can hit me up in MegoMania, our Facebook group, or at the forums at MegoMuseum.com. Thank you as always for watching. If you are new to this, I hope you'll consider hitting like and subscribe. I do this every week. Until next time, be well, talk toys, not others. Take care.